I'm 40 years old. I create content around The Sims 4, and I've been at it for 4 years. And I'm pretty sure you're wondering, well, what is it like being a content creator at 40? Maybe some of you. And should you do it too? Regardless of your age, should you create content? And I'm going to go ahead and tell you the answer is yes, and I have plenty of reasons why. Now, before I go into that, I just want to let y'all know that I am a videographer. I tend to film a lot of things outside of my content creating. I also edit videos for a living. I'm a photographer by trade as well, so I do get clients outside of what you see on this channel, where I'm going to events and I'm photographing things or whatever it may be, or filming. Okay, so not only do I do that for content, but I also do it for my day job. So clients hire me to go in and do the same thing that I'm doing for my channel, but for them. So so I do have an advantage when it comes to creating content, I suppose. All right, so I figured, since I just hit 100K subscribers right here on the Nardvillain challenge, I thought I would just share a little bit of insights on content creating. And now that you know that I do this for a living as well, I've been also content creating for basically all my life. I would definitely say I've been content creating since probably like 20 years now. Right before college, I was in high school recording music and putting it up on purevolume.com and mp3.com. I don't know if y'all remember those mp3.com days. This was before Spotify and Reverb Nation and Bandcamp. Okay, this was like the OG of posting your music. So I was a singer-songwriter. I was like into the punk scene or whatever, so I had like my own little solo projects and stuff. So I'll actually upload it to these platforms that was given to us in the early 2000s, like 2000, 2001. And so I've been creating content. So, I've been following the trends, per se, in the last 2 to 3 decades. And it's changed, obviously. And I started out just, creating these little random videos that I will post up on, YouTube back in like the early 2006, 2007, once, YouTube launched. So, I was kind of creating content when I didn't realize that that's what I was doing. I didn't realize like I was creating content. And at that point I was like 18, 19 years old, producing music and adding little visuals to it and uploading it to YouTube and stuff like that. And before YouTube, it was just like MySpace and a little touch of Facebook and stuff, and just uploading it. So if I would have known I was content creating back then, I'm like legit OG content creating, right? So I had it in me, I feel like I've had it in me in my youth, but now I feel like since starting when I was like 18, 19, 20, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with all this, the content creating that I was doing, which actually led to me going to school for, mass communications and actually learning the specs and the technical terminology of like recording music and filming and editing, linear editing and stuff like that. I went to school for that. I went to school for journalism and learning how to write for print and television and radio even. So that was where I felt like I knew, like, I want to be creative. I want to create stories, and I want to show my vision to the world, really, honestly. And I want to inspire people. I want to make people laugh. I want people to feel a certain emotion when they're watching my content or listening to my content, because I was also into music and recording my own music and being in bands and stuff like that in my early teens to early 20s. So I think the opportunity after college came when I wanted to get involved with radio and television. So I was like, maybe I can figure out a way to create my own opportunities, whether it's like creating podcast. At the time, podcast was just starting to become a thing, where you can go onto iTunes and look for like little radio formatted type little mini episodes where you can download them right off iTunes. So I was like, you know what? Like, I had just moved to California. I'm from North Carolina. Did like 3 months of radio, and I was like, you know what? I'm in love with radio. So when I moved to California, I was like, I want to do television somehow. Don't know how I'm gonna get into television, but we'll see what happens. Whether it's running the camera or doing live sound for audio or whatever, because I went to school for audio and video production, but I was leaning more towards the audio element of production. And I had no experience. I'm in a big city with no experience. No one's gonna hire a 21-year-old to run live sound, or to run cameras on a live TV show, So I was like, how am I gonna get all this experience if no one's gonna hire me? So I was working insurance full time for 6 years. And while I was, sitting at my desk and, doing my little data entry, I was like, you know what? I can probably figure out a way to just create my own opportunities to practice per se. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to create my own podcast. I'm going to just do my own thing and promote music locally here in San Diego. I'm going to learn how to talk about music, and I'm going to learn how to figure out what's important to mention when it comes to music. Okay, I'm gonna play this song by this specific artist. What does the viewer want to know when I'm introducing the song? And everything just takes practice. So that's how it all started. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna create my own podcast if I can't come out here to a big city and continue on with my passion of radio, passion of music. So I did that on the side while working insurance, and then before you know it, an opportunity in television worked out, and I started doing stuff in the television world. I started running cameras, floor directing, doing the teleprompter. Now this is for news, live news. And then from there, more opportunities opened up, So moved on to a newspaper organization where they did stuff digitally as well, had their own little TV show. So long story short, while I was doing that, I was still doing my little podcast thing called Nardcast, promoting local music and all that good stuff, which actually eventually branched out to be one big massive outlet of not just music, but entertainment, lifestyle, hospitality. We're talking featuring writing about chefs and writing about cocktails and bartenders and things to do in the city. Just because I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket, because I was kind of doing that stuff for another employer, but I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do this for myself. So I created my own blog, I created my own website and was writing these things, writing about places to go, incorporating video. Because at this point, video was starting to be important, but with Instagram and Facebook and maybe a little bit of Twitter, it was still heavy with photos. They was just now starting to talk about how important video was. Now, radio's still kind of a thing, people are still listening to the radio. Not everybody's got Spotify in their Bluetooth. This isn't popular yet. So anyway, going back, I'm just trying to give y'all a little bit of history here for the first 10 minutes. Y'all gonna be with me for a minute, all right? Y'all gonna be with me for a minute. This is uncut. All right, this is uncut, Nardvillain. We're just hanging out, all right? We hanging out, no cut. I'm not expecting this to go viral or anything like that. I just want to let y'all know I want to be vulnerable with y'all. I want to talk about how it feels being 40, being in this Sims 4 community. But I want to show y'all, give y'all a little touch of where I came from, So that way you can kind of understand why my content is the way it is, So anyway, because I didn't put everything in one basket, I still had all this content that I was posting already on YouTube, but I just didn't know how to capitalize on getting reach, because I'm just uploading videos. I'm like, all right, well, I'm learning all these skill sets at work. I'm learning how to write for television. I'm learning how to produce a news entertainment segment. I'm learning how to find what's trending in the world or what's trending in the area. I'm learning so much about new music that's dropping weekly. I'm learning so many skill sets on how to produce, how to segment produce, how to line produce, how to executive produce, and what works, what doesn't work when it comes to live television. So I was learning all this stuff where it was man, if I keep this up for 2, 3, 4 years, I mean, this got to take me somewhere, right? I'm thinking like this might take me somewhere. But what ended up happening was I ended up getting laid off. So this was about, we're looking at 2024 right now. I got laid off at my job around 2000 and I want to say 13 or 14. Might have been like 2014, maybe 2015 is when they laid me off. And look at me now. I mean, 10 years ago was my last time I had like a legit employer. Meaning like 9 to 5. Like that was my 9 to 5 gig where that was my only person I reported to. That was the only organization I reported to. So anyway, so now for 10 years I've been kind of just like, you know, doing a little independent contracting, some little 1099 stuff here and there. And it's been keeping, you know, food on the table and all that good stuff. Applying the things that I've learned in like the 2 to 4 years of working at that establishment. Was able to still apply those things to my brand, you know, because keep in mind, I was writing. So I didn't stop writing. I didn't stop doing my bartending segments and my kitchen segments with chefs. So I was still posting this stuff on my website, still learning how to write, still learning how the camera operates, you know, still learning about video editing and audio mixing. So I was I was still polishing up all these skills that I've learned in school, but I'm doing it hands-on now. I'm building my own experience, which is like amazing, right? So after getting laid off and like doing my own thing, I just went full-time with the Nardcast. Now I got clients calling me and saying, hey, we know you do, you write articles about food and you do these awesome video segments about chefs and bartenders. Hey, how much would you charge if we wanted you to do something for us, but just, you know, post it up on our Instagram or whatever? So now I'm charging people because I was doing Behind the Stick and In the Kitchen. That's the name of them. You can check them out on my website, thenardcast.com, if they're still up there. Also on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Not Twitter anymore, but so yeah, I was doing all this stuff for free for like almost 10 years, just about. Doing all this stuff for free. I started the Nardcast around like 2008, right before podcasting was cool, right? Because it started out as like a music podcast. Then once I started writing a little bit more and doing a little bit more video work at work, then I started to do more video-based segments for my website, which actually turned into a full-on lifestyle entertainment website versus just a podcast. Still doing the podcast from time to time, but anyway, clients are now reaching out. So I got like hotels, restaurants, you name it, right? So not only am I doing Behind the Sticks and In the Kitchens and I'm podcasting with friends, I'm now getting paid to like do these awesome video opportunities, you know. I'm going to events and I'm filming, making montage videos, and I'm partnering up with photographers and drone operators and just traveling the world a little bit, going to like Florida for events and going up to Palm Springs for an event, going to Comic-Con for my own brand and all that stuff. Like all this stuff happening in the span of 10 years. The last 10 years last 10 years has been like, you know, great. Then the pandemic hit, right? Pandemic hit, hospitality went a little bit. You know, it was not a lot of hospitality segments that I could really do. Can't go into the kitchen as much anymore. So what happened? Like I went into this rut of creativity. Like there was nothing creative that I could do, that I had all this creativity juices flowing, but I didn't have any outlet anymore because we're all locked in, you know, we're locked at home and we're on lockdowns and there's not much that we can do. I can't just like do anything virtually, you know, like I have to go in and like film the cocktail, film the bartender making the cocktail to make it look very cinematic and stuff. Same with like chefs. So I hit a rut, you know, like I wasn't creating content on the Nardcast anymore. I was doing work. I mean, I was getting, you know, clients were coming in asking me to edit videos for them or let's mask up and do some outdoor, you know, content, but it wasn't the same, you know, like things just wasn't the same. So now keep in mind, I was still trying to be creative on my own and still do stuff, but it just didn't feel it just didn't feel the same. So I was just like, look, like I feel like I'm not really wanted anymore in the local scene. I mean, I'm trying my best to figure out how I can write articles that's relevant to what's happening in the world, you know, like who's doing takeout dinners or like takeout drinks drinks you can make from home. So yeah, I had to cater to the situation, but it was just a little different. It wasn't as video based, you know. So I was just trying to figure it out, just like everybody else. We're just trying to pivot and figure out how to move with the changes. And at that time too, you know, I'm playing The Sims, and I just bought a PlayStation, so I'm playing Friday the 13th a little bit. Now, I've been playing The Sims before the pandemic. It's just that I wasn't really like creating content around it, because I wasn't really thinking like, oh, I can create content around this. So as I was playing my legacy families, now we're jumping into like, you know, how I got involved with the Sims 4 community, you know, trying to do a little storytelling at my leisure, you know. So now we're here 4 years ago during the pandemic. Now we're at the part where I'm thinking about creating a YouTube channel for the Sims 4. All right, so I've been playing The Sims. I can't even tell you how long now. It was definitely right before the pandemic. So I've always been eyeing The Sims 4, because I played obviously The Sims, Sims 2, a little bit of The Sims 3, but I was all about Sims free play. So I played Sims free play. That was my jam after Sims 2, was Sims free play. Then I tried to play Sims 3, but it didn't work on my computer. Then moved on to Sims 4, then back to Sims 3. So that's kind of like my history of the Sims franchise, all that pretty much in a nutshell, since 2000. All right, so, you know, I'm playing legacy families, and I'm doing like a lot of generational gameplay. I don't really watch a lot of creators when it comes to the Sims 4 at that time, only unless I'm looking for like, how do I get this, or what's the cheat for that. I will search YouTube, and then, you know, especially when Get Famous came out, James Turner was really big on like Get Famous, and he had like a bunch of videos. So I'll watch his videos, because it was the only videos that were very elaborate on like the review and how to play and how to navigate Get Famous. So I wasn't really watching a lot. And then I bumped into SimSav, which I'm still a huge fan of, and I bumped into her Legacy Challenge. I don't know if she created the Legacy Challenge, but I was watching her Legacy Challenge, which got me into playing the Legacy Challenge just like just casually, you know, just playing it casually, not really recording it or you know, posting it as content or anything like that. So when I was watching her, I was like really getting into not just her characters, but also just her in general. I was like, SimSav cool, man. I was like, I could vibe with SimSav. You know, I could probably kick it with her if we ever like hung out on a low key. And I'd be like, but I also like her Sims. I like how like she's already in like Legacy. She's already in like Gen 6 or 7 or whatever. I like her style. She's real chill. So I was like, you know what? And also, there's another creator outside of The Sims 4 that I'm gonna mention later. But I was like, you know, I think I might do a Legacy Challenge, and maybe another Legacy Challenge where I might film it. All right, I might film it, but I won't share it. So I was like, all right, I might do that. We'll see. It's just a thought right now. And so I started the Legacy Challenge. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I had the rules laid out. And then, you know, I'm playing Friday the 13th. And one of my favorite creators that play Friday the 13th, his name's T. Pendale. Now, with a combination of T. Pendale and SimSav, those two, I was like, they inspired me to be like, you know what? I think the Sims community needs a Nardvillain. Yep, I was like, I think I want to start posting content. So what I started doing, because I've been in the whole social media game for forever, I was like, I already know I need to post things that people are going to be searching for. So my first few videos were my favorite game packs or my favorite expansion packs. And then I kind of introduced a new Legacy Challenge, which was my pandemic Legacy Challenge. So I was like, you know what? I'll do a little pandemic joint, so I could put like my little personality on camera, because I'm no stranger to the camera. So I got my way around the camera a little bit. So that was like my little introduction. Now, I didn't think it was gonna go anywhere. I was like, I'm not gonna, this is just to kill a little bit of time. I can watch back my legacy challenge. My thing was, I wanted to kind of do what SimSab was doing, just create like a library, a playlist of my gameplay, so I can go back and watch. But then I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll share it to the community too. So I kept doing it. Before you know it, I started building an audience. People started being like, you know what? I like you. You're different. I like your edit. You silly, blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm a little bit more low key, not really quite developing my confidence on camera. New community. I'm used to food and behind the camera kind of guy. I'm filming behind the sticks, which are my cocktail segments, and I'm filming and asking questions to chefs to piece it all together as a video. I'm not on camera. I'm not the person to tell you about stuff. You feel me? So yeah, that's how it started. Did a legacy challenge or two, did a rags to riches eventually when that was introduced, and then I started doing more like, this is how you do this. Did you know about these tricks and tips? Then shorts started becoming a thing, IG Reels and TikTok. So I was like, you know what? Let me post some of my little TikTok things, posting every day or whatever. Now, keep in mind, I jumped into the Sims 4 community game. I was 36. Now, I'm 40 now. And I'm about to hit 4 years of just creating content. So I started in December of 2020. So we're already about to hit my 4-year mark. And then come January, I'm going to be 41. So just the first year alone, I was just doing a bunch of TikToks, YouTube long form videos. Think I got my, I didn't get monetized yet, but I think I got at least up to about 500-600 followers on YouTube, and I thought that was amazing, right? Again, I'm like, okay, once I started realizing people were like really into me or into my content, I was like, there's something there. I might can get monetized. I started hearing people talking about you can get paid off your videos. I'm like, look, if I could play the game that I enjoy playing, I've been playing for like almost 20 some years, and you now telling me that I can make money doing this. I was like, I'm in there like swimwear, and I can make people laugh and inspire people. I'm like, yo, this is what's up. I do it. So that's pretty much how I got into the Sims community. I hit 100K on TikTok. That was an awesome milestone. And then eventually I got monetized on YouTube. Man, that was amazing. And then my TikTok got to 200K. And then after that, like my Instagram started to blow up a little bit. People started recognizing me. Now, being recognized out in public, now that's crazy. Being recognized at airports and at festivals and like cons, like Comic-Con and Midsummer Scream, when somebody come up to you and be like, "Oh my God, I love your TikToks." It's weird, but it's amazing. It's a good feeling though. Or people will message you and be like, you really make my day. I look forward to watching your videos. Me and my boyfriend say like, or me and my partner, significant other, we like say dad to each other. And it's crazy to be, I guess, technically a household name for some people, So going viral for the first time was pretty crazy on TikTok. And then after that, just seeing the growth on Instagram and even Twitter. And then once the Sims team start to recognize you a little bit, then you're like, wow, that's crazy. Or I like just sitting in people's streams and just like hanging out and asking questions. Knowing that I can't even do that on a DL anymore. People be like, hey, it's Nardvillain, blah, 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 It's crazy, to know that you have that influence or impact on on the community. And don't get me wrong, I wish I could give out more reviews and stuff like that, but I'm more of a skits entertainment based, or did you know you can do this in the game? I don't do reviews as much as like I wish I could. I don't play or dissect the games enough, so I'm just in a different I'm in a different spectrum, you know, or a different niche of like content where I don't really report the news too much, and if I do report the news, it's like almost borderline satire, but because of the way I do it, you know, I do it so sinister like, you know, or even when something's good happening, I still convert it over into like a sinister vibe. Yeah, this is probably the most wholesome you will ever see me. You feel me? Because I'm usually sinister, ominous. That's just the vibe, the brand that I built in the last 4 years on this channel. So I try to keep it that way. If I break out and do like reviews or The Sims suck or I love The Sims so much, you know, I feel like I'm breaking character. Now I'm a genuine guy. I want you guys to know like I'm very authentic, but I'm also, when I'm creating, to keep in mind, I'm also a storyteller. So I like to be able to keep my content on this specific style of branding, so that way when you watch a video, no matter what style it is, you're gonna know it's from me. All right, so that's pretty much the journey and some of the milestones when it comes to at least being a Sims 4, you know, content creator. And last but not least, since we're talking milestones, I definitely want to talk about hitting 100K a couple weeks ago on YouTube. Now that has been one hell of a journey. I don't got my plaque yet, but I do have this Tube Buddy one that I printed out, and let me tell you, I did not think 4 years ago, or even less than 4 years, 3 years and 11 months ago, that I would be literally sitting here talking to y'all about my old ass reaching a milestone in a community that's very young. Now I know there's some people out there that's my age as well, and they definitely hit me up in the comments a lot and be like, it's really nice to see. There's a lot of time. Here's a lot of compliments I get. Sometimes they'll tell me like, it's really nice to see an older person playing the game and being a content creator, because it feels like I have someone that I can relate to, because I do drop a lot of like 90s references and some things that you might not get because you're a different demographic as me. Sometimes people be like, you know what, being a black creator sometimes has its benefits of, or people can relate to me because I'm a black creator. Not only that, just like a male creator even, you know. So I get those different outlets, like people come into the channel because of some of those things they can relate to. And then on top of that, my music taste, my movie taste, me being into horror, me being into punk rock, me being into metal, me being really heavily into film in general. I had to stop down, you know, talking too much, bruh. Talking too much, cut. All right, we ready? All right, cool. Let's get back to it. So yeah, I mean, I'm just getting so many different outlets of like-minded people coming to the channel. Whether it is for the Sims 4 content, or they just think I'm funny or cute. But just mainly funny though, you know, you feel me? Just mainly funny. Cause some people will come up to me like, I haven't played The Sims in years. I just like hearing that dag. Or they'd be like, you know what? You're just funny. And I just follow you because you're just funny and I like your content. It's fun to watch. So I get so many different types of people coming in to check the the channel out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you a little bit about some advantages. I want to talk disadvantages and my purpose as a content creator real quick, and then I might just talk about some things that I have coming up that I want to talk about, and then we'll do some final thoughts. You know, some final thoughts as a content creator, because with advantages there are obviously going to be some disadvantages, but as an advantage for me is definitely, as a 40-year-old content creator, I've noticed that I come with skills and experience. So I think if you have experience in a niche, if you have experience or certain skills that people might want, and you can be able to share it and show people how they can become as skillful as you, I think being a content creator on YouTube is a great way to go, because you have the experience, the years, you know. Like honestly, if I really wanted to, I could probably teach people how to do green screen or storytelling, or I could probably show people how to film on a DSLR camera, or how to do a lighting that looks decent, or what type of equipment you might want on a specific budget, or how to edit audio or mix audio properly. So I have those skills because is experience. That's my day job. I do it for a living, and I also do it as a hobby. So some of those things I could share as a content creator and be in a whole different niche of folk that are looking for, well, how do you edit? How you key out if you're in a green screen? How do you properly light a green screen? Or how do you record your gameplay footage? How do you use OBS? So there's so many different types of content and how-tos that you can do as a content creator just based on your skill set and experience. And don't get me wrong, I had experience when I was 20 in my 30s, but just imagine doing the same thing for 20 years. Your experience and skill set might overpower some of the newer amateur people trying to do the same thing. Now, if you have the skill set and you have the experience, all it takes is having a nice little book cover, having that good title, having a nice little thumbnail, and then your delivery. As long as people can kind of relate and you're making sense and it's easy, then bam. Searchable. People online, hey, how do you do this how do you edit? How you export? What's the export settings you need to export to YouTube or TikTok? How do you create a sequence for vertical? How do you add text in Premiere Pro? People are searching that stuff all the time. And if that's stuff that you do every day for the last 20 years, you can't tell me you can't close your eyes and just write that out and just put it on video for someone to understand. You see, those are some advantages of just being an older person. It might not come as easy if you're not been on. I also been on camera for a minute, so it kind of comes a little bit easier. But everything takes practice. Whether you're 20, whether you're 30, keep the consistency of doing something over and over again. You're gonna get better at it. I made my first apple pie yesterday. And I suck. The crust is I didn't like the little edges and stuff like that. But you know what? The next time I make an apple pie, it's going to be 10 times better. And then the next time I make another apple pie, it's going to be triple times better. So practice makes perfect, right? So that's another thing, I feel like because I have the experience, because I have the skill sets developed over time, I feel like I might be a little bit more respected in a specific niche like production, and I could probably do something regardless of my age, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? So that's an advantage, just having the experience and the skill sets to be able to come out and just say, hey, I have all these skill sets and I can and my age shouldn't matter because now I'm giving you value. I'm giving you 20 years of an experience on something that I'm good at, which in the Sims 4 community, I'm giving the community value in my storytelling, my love for the game, and my ability to be unique through the years of learning how to tell a story, or learning how to, through the trials and errors of other content creating channels I've had in the past, in order to be where I'm at now. I've had to do quite a bit of content. Now, it might come easy for some people, but for me, it took me almost 20 years to get where I'm at, because I've had multiple channels already. So yeah, it doesn't hurt to just try things and stay consistent with it, Now, all those are advantages, of course, but I also want to talk a little bit about the disadvantages. Now, these are my disadvantages as being a 40-year-old in this game, is, to me, honestly, is confidence. And being assertive, like I know people might be like, but your content is top tier, right? But honestly, I mean, I look at other content creators outside of our of the Sims 4 community niche. I look at my peers and where they're at in life, and sometimes I'm just like, I just feel like I'm not as confident as I wish I was being a creator, a content creator in the Sims 4 niche. Now, I know I keep saying that I feel like this community is a little bit on the younger side, but keep in mind there are a lot of people my age that are creators in the space, and also viewers, connoisseurs of the Sims franchise. Again, it's just like I'm dealing with self-confidence, knowing like my work's good, knowing like I'm just as good enough as that 25-year-old. I just feel like I have to kind of work a little harder. Like I feel like people will look at me and not take me as serious, because you'll see my content and be like, what's this fool doing playing video games? Or why is he in there acting like a little kid, whatever, But I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm at this age now which is an advantage, is I have confidence, but sometimes I'm comfortable in my own skin to be a fool on camera. So that ain't no problem. It's just the confidence of knowing like my content is just as good as the next person's content. Like, my content deserves the millions of views that it sometimes get. You know what I mean? I just got to be better and not as hard on myself when it comes to delivering good quality content, because I know I do. All right. So that's just one of the disadvantages. And another one is obviously burnout. A lot of people say you don't burn out when you really love the things that you do, which is true. But sometimes you do need a break. All right. Don't get me wrong. You do need a break. Sometimes I feel like you need a break from like all the engagement, even sometimes the positivity and the negativity, because that can weigh you down a lot of times, especially the negativity. So sometimes just like, and then again, I'm tossing, not only am I trying to create content, but I'm also trying to make sure I'm working on my client work too, because that comes first, priority. I got to pay the bills, got to eat, you feel me? Got to take care of those needs, got to keep that plumb bob green. But if I'm not sitting here trying to create content, then I'm afraid, again, this can come with my confidence, I guess. I feel like the less I post as a content creator, though, the more I feel less relevant in the space, because I feel like it's such a fast-paced world that I can take a 2-week break and be forgotten. That's how I feel. It could be a confidence thing. I'm being vulnerable here, okay? I'm seriously being vulnerable here. I'm not cutting any of this out. We're going to just post this John Brown, this Jammy Jam, and just see what happens with it, all right? I just want to be honest with y'all. Hopefully y'all hanging out, relaxing, just listening to me going on this little tangents. But maybe you'll learn something. Maybe I've inspired y'all to continue on your journey, because it's going to happen for most of us. We're going to get burnt out. You just got to do the things that you love, because once it starts feeling like you're not having fun with it, or it's tedious, then you're going to definitely become a little bit more burnt out. You're going to get burnt out even faster. So that's what I would say in regards to getting burnt out a little bit. And you always got to figure out how to pivot too. What up, baby? What up, baby? I'm almost done. Let me wrap up. I'm talking about my disadvantages being a 40-year-old content creator. Now, I don't know if that's technically a disadvantage, but I feel like for me, I'm always pivoting. Like, one thing will work, and then I'll keep doing it, and then I feel like it's getting old after a while. So I feel like you always just got to change when you notice your audience is changing. Now, keep in mind, earlier I said that a lot of times people just like to follow me because I might say something funny. So I just think sometimes as a content creator, for me at least, at my age, I feel like I got to pivot it quite a bit. Like, sometimes I might have to do more how-tos versus like a random skit that maybe someone might not get. You feel me? Because I'm a little bit older, I did this one skit where I had converted What's Up? Remember that What's Up commercial? The Budweiser What's Up commercial? I converted that into a Dag commercial. But because most people might have only seen Scary Movie, they didn't realize that was a Budweiser commercial from like 2000. I think it was 2000, maybe 1999. It was way early though. So it's like, I gotta remind myself to remember who your audience is when you're creating some of these like skits and stuff like that, because that might go over some people's heads. You feel me? So again, I don't know if that's necessarily a disadvantage or not, but also another disadvantage, I think, as a content creator, especially at my age, being a content creator at 40, is multiple platforms are going to be different. Like, I've noticed, like, TikTok's way different than Instagram. The demographics are definitely different from YouTube to TikTok. TikTok's obviously a lot younger, so like when I try to stream over there or whatever, I might get some little stabs, little stabs at like, oh, you old, like, well, how old are you playing this game? I ignore those, but you get that, and you get some wild people over there on TikTok trying to say something to you. And speaking of that, the bad and negative comments, you get a lot of negative comments. We're human, but you gotta have thick skin, even at my age, like, I don't let it get to me as much. Because as I mentioned earlier, I try to keep, even in the comments, again, I try to be as authentic as possible, but while trying to stay on brand or in character. So a lot of times when I post stuff, unalive Sims quite a bit, right? So I get like 100 to 300 comments saying or calling me psycho, right? So they're, oh, you're psycho. Well, who would do that to their Sims? So I typically just stay in character, and I get ready to know, like, whatever I'm posting is gonna probably bring a specific energy. So don't cater to that energy, because I'm kind of introducing that energy. Like if I'm like on a live in 100 Sims, of course 50% of those people seeing it is going to be like, this guy's psycho. So I play along with it. I stay in character, because if you follow me and you know who I am, I'm a genuine, nice, young dude. I'm still young. I'm 40, but I'm young, bro. So dealing with haters is definitely a disadvantage. As you get older, though, I think you can handle it a little bit better. Your skin's a little bit thicker, and plus, when I was younger, I don't want to necessarily call it bullying, but kids used to give me a hard time in school. So I think I've kind of developed that thick skin, and it could be worse too. I feel like I've been very fortunate not to get as much hate, especially how I deliver my content. I'm surprised I haven't gotten as much hate, but again, I feel like my content comes in a way where it's not supposed to offend anyone. It's just me showing you how much you can really take the game to. I'm almost testing the limits to how you can really modify your game, or how you can potentially break it. I'm picking at some of the bugs and glitches of the game in a fun, heartwarming way. So yeah, just stuff like that. I'm not like, so I feel like when you see it, you're already knowing, like, okay, this is supposed to be funny. It's not like he's calling anybody out or picking at the developers, because I appreciate everything the developers have done with the franchise. They doing their best. I feel like it's just, and I feel like you got to be able to be comfortable enough to pick at the game, and that's what I do, but I do it in a creative and fun way where it's not like, trashing them or whatever. All right. What else? Another thing about being a content creator, especially at my age, is just, again, as with the confidence and stress. Sometimes it's really stressful. You put your heart and soul into, I don't know how long it takes some creators, but for me, I try to be very careful at just, pushing out low quality content. So I'm always thinking about always pushing out good content. Do the best you can. Be better than the last video. I always telling myself. That's why I'm hard on myself. So sometimes it's stressful when you put 8 hours into a video, or you write a script, you write a title, you come up with the storyline, you write the script, you go into the green screen and do all the green screen elements, you hop onto the game and you spend hours putting together, getting all the gameplay footage you need, you go into Photoshop and convert the screenshots you got into graphics, because you might need graphics. All that's time consuming for what? A 60-second video that TikTok might give you 2,000 views, right? And then YouTube might give you 2K views. And then Instagram might give you 9,000 views. And then Twitter might get 50 views. So you're doing this wash, rinse, repeat. You're keeping it consistent. You're doing this 3-4 times a week. Of course, you're going to get kind of, a little bummed out, a little stressed, your self-worth go down a little bit, especially after you went viral for a few times and you got all that viral sensation, and then it brings you right back down and you're like, damn, I didn't know it's going to hit me this hard, It's like, damn, I didn't know it was going to get me like that, So yeah, it messes with your confidence, your motivation a little bit, but even during those lows, you get people coming in but like, man, you're my favorite content creator. You're my favorite simmer. You're my favorite TikToker. You're my favorite YouTuber. You're my favorite streamer. I'm so glad you stream now. Or, man, you make me laugh. Or I love when you say dag dag. We watch your videos together. Or blah, 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 blah. So those are the things that keep me going. Them little YouTube checks here and there, and little subs over on Twitch, and little Instagram bonuses, and the Sims team coming through saying how much they appreciate my content, and EA, working with EA here and there, and seeing how y'all support me with the creator code. Use that creator code NARD at checkout, 5%, cuh. So just stuff like that. So all right, I'm about to wrap this up. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about my purpose. And I think I'm about to mention this, but I want to mention this again. Everybody's going to have their purpose. No matter what age you are, when you're over here content creating, you might have to figure out what is your why, what's your purpose, right? And my purpose, I feel like I'm still trying to tweak a little bit, but now I'm starting to really realize that I think my purpose really, honestly, as a content creator, is to really entertain and make people laugh while also showing people a fun way to play the game. And if there's ways that I can kind of generate some revenue around it, maybe a product or something, like some stickers or some merch, or maybe I'll write a book or write something about like tips and tricks of the Sims with Sims 4 where I can generate some extra income, then I feel like that's a good purpose to have, like having a community that's still growing around your content and your personality, finding the people, like-minded people that rock with you because of not just because you play the Sims, but because you're into this and you're into that, and you can hang out with them on stream and Twitch and TikTok live and stuff, and create this bond with people, and hop on Discord and have game nights and share our Sims and our Sims 4 builds and shell challenges together. So I think it's all there, I think that's the purpose, is to build that platform for people that are like-minded like myself, that really enjoy the storytelling and the art of storytelling and the art of horror and that sinister vibe and punk and metal and film and food and all that, And I think in the last 4 years, I feel like I've created that platform for the like-minded people, that they can come and be themselves and hang out and create a really amazing experience together, And I try my best to get in there and engage in the comments and stuff like that. And I'm always thinking of ways of how I can try to give back and all that good stuff. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the perks, what's next, and then my final thoughts, and we'll be out of here in like 6 minutes, all right? I know I'm keeping y'all damn near almost 45 minutes up in this John Brown. All right, so there's some perks, obviously, and I think I mentioned these already, but I just want to just run through them real quick. Obviously, a perk is working with the Sims, right? I mean, I've been able to work on some projects in the past with the Sims, and hopefully there'll be some more to come. So it's been nice having a creator code and being able to get early access to some video games and stuff like that. It's been really cool, and it's been able to go to EA events and stuff like that it's been a blessing. It's a humbling experience. Again, at my age, I would never thought that I would be right along the young folk, just creating content and being an influential content creator, in my niche of how I do content. So it's really cool, you know, and getting brands to notice me and work with me because of what I do with the Sims, you know, like different microphone brands and different little digital companies and stuff like that. Merch even, you know, like being able to work with Bonfire and stuff like that. And hopefully there'll be some other opportunities to work with brands like Elgato, how much I love Elgato, and SodaStream, you know, SodaStream out here, you feel me? Amazon affiliate link in the description, cup. All right, anyway. So also opportunities, and I'm very grateful for them. And hopefully, the more I continue to do this, the more I try to make myself brand friendly, the more opportunities that'll arise from it, you know. And just having some subs on Instagram and TikTok and Twitch. I mean, all three platforms have been really generous of people following me over there and paying a little bit of simoleons to support me, you know. And that's super cool too, you know. Like, I do have a day job, but any little extra income is really nice, because just imagine me doing this full time and how better and how much more, even more committed I would be producing good content. You feel me? See, it's the soda stream got me now. It's time for me to wrap up. Now I'm getting all burpy and gassy. All right, anyway, yeah. So, final thoughts. We'll talk about actually, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about some more perks. Knowing that I made somebody's day is a perk, and also, again, being a household name. I think all those are like really cool perks to have, and being spotted out is kind of fun sometimes, and it's really cool, you know. And I never use any of that to my advantage. I'm very humble about it. I still don't really feel like I'm that influential. Some people have to really like hit me upside the head and be like, "Look, bro, you out here, people really out here vibing you. You be amazed." And some people, it's like people look inside and realize like, wow, like he's really humble. Like, he really don't feel like he's influential out here in these streets. All right, so what's next? So I'm thinking of doing maybe some more behind the scenes for the Nardvillain channel. Like, I want to show y'all how I do content. Like, maybe give you guys a little inside look of like how I set my green screen up and how we edit videos and stuff like that. I was thinking of maybe doing more behind the scenes, because that's content there, and that's gonna attract people outside of the Sims 4 community, and that might be interested in just the behind the scenes technical stuff. Because there's always people that look up to certain content creators, and they want to be a content creator, but they don't know how to start, or they're too scared to ask their favorite content creator. And I'm an open book. So if you ever have any questions about the nerdy tech stuff, I'm all about it. I've even helped someone set up their Twitch, not their Twitch, but their Twitch, their OBS. I sat there, walked them through it, told them their bit rate, what their bit rate needed to be, all that stuff. I love that stuff. And if the people really want to see videos about that, I'll figure out how to do it where it makes sense to keep it on this channel. All right. I'm also going to launch a Behind the Creator series. I was thinking of doing this on Twitch, so that'll be something that I'm going to do on Twitch. It'll be like a 30-minute behind the creator, developer, whatever. It'll be just me interviewing them about their journey, about what they got going on and what their process is like, and just some inspiring questions, you know, that can hopefully inspire those who are seeking to be a content creator, or someone that just needs a little bit of uplifting, or just learn a little bit about their favorite creator, you know. So I want to set that little I want to just give another outlet to people that has a really cool story and would like to share it to the audience. So I'll do it like once a month, something, you know, nothing too crazy. Again, it'll be part of my stream on Thursdays over on the Purple channel, on the Purple platform, you feel me? So think about doing that. Thinking about doing more long form. So this is a great example of doing more long form. We're going almost a damn near hour. So I hope y'all ready. Uncut, uncensored, baby. So anyway, more long forms. All right, we're gonna do more long forms. I'm gonna get my ass in the green screen. We're gonna do it. All right, we're gonna do green screens. I'm gonna go all out like I do my shorts, but it'll be higher quality production videos, but it won't be as many. All right, so I might be posting once or twice a week versus like the 4 or 5 times a week that I do, plus stream on the Purple Place. All right, so think about that. We're gonna be doing some more long forms in 2025, and also I'm gonna just continue to grow. You know, that's what's next. We're gonna continue to grow. We're gonna try to get to 1 million. How about that? We might get to 1 million on TikTok. Who knows? Well, we want to continue to grow. All right, we want to continue to grow, and I think no matter where I go, whether it's Sims, another game, lifestyle content, tech content, whatever, we're all gonna do this together. Okay, we're gonna grow and we're gonna expand together. Okay, I'm always gonna be thinking about the community first before I decide to do anything. All right, got to make sure you all, my OGs, are okay with that. All right. Let's wrap this up. Last but not least. All right. And other than that, what's next is I'm thinking of just generating some more revenue over here on the channel. Let's generate some revenue. Let's figure out how we can get some more merch. I'm thinking about, you know, some stickers, some more t-shirt designs. Maybe I'll create some type of ebook of some sort. Who knows? But yeah, we'll figure something out so that way we can figure out how we can continue to produce some good quality content without going broke. You feel me? Going broke. All right. Final thoughts. I definitely want to say that I'm very grateful for the 4 years, and I'm hoping that that I'm inspiring those of any age. But I definitely wanted to focus on the older demographic, because a lot of folks in the older demographic should have some experience and some skill sets that people will find value in, you know. So don't be afraid don't be afraid to start, because it's never too late to start. All right. So you'll be amazed on how many people would appreciate your efforts and and basically your knowledge. So, or your entertainment, shoot, you know? So again, it's all about being relatable and just having good value, you know? So that's one thing that I wanted to make sure, you know, and I want people to have fun when they come to my channel. You know, I want people to be ready to have some sort of emotion, whether it's, I felt weird because there was all those kids just running around with stinky diapers, or Velma's at it again, drowning like 100 vampires or something crazy. So I always just want y'all to just be in awe, you know, or inspired, or happy to see a video come across your feed that's from me. Yeah, I just want to just continue to, you know, to grow the platform, grow our audience, you know, and I want us to all be ready to pivot when we need to pivot. You know, maybe my content might change slightly, but it's because you all want it to change a little bit. So I'm going to start doing a little bit more long form videos, and we're going to start diving into maybe doing a little bit of review. All right, just a little scotch, because I did a review and I got some great feedback on the review. So we'll see what's up. And of course, I want to be as authentic as possible. You know, I want to stay true to myself. I want to be myself. This is how I act on a normal day here at the house, and I just want to be authentic. You know, if I'm not happy about something, I will say it in a way where it's not offensive and it's still appreciated. If I'm really happy about something, I'm obviously going to express my happiness, whether people might not agree with it. Because for the last 4 years, I've provided a platform for anybody and for everybody to express their opinion, whether it's popular or unpopular. Because I think we can all have a very great adult conversation, and to be able to agree to disagree, or disagree on things. So I've been very grateful that I haven't came across a lot of negativity. We've all been able to disagree on certain things in a very respectful manner. Even those who are not supervillains, they tend to come through and say their piece and dip out, but they're not negative about it. So it's been good. in that respect, you know. Yeah, so I get haters still, you know. They hate on me, but it is what it is, you know. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, just trying to be authentic and just grateful, and you know, like I said, being a content creator has definitely continued to increase my skill sets and various production elements, whether it's film, video editing, audio editing, podcasting, writing, storytelling, accounting, business stuff, you know. So yeah, being on camera talent, I mean, that's not easy. So yeah, a lot of skill sets has come because of me deciding to take the extra step of being a content creator, learning social media too, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I just wanted to really just express how I felt in like a very unedited way. I probably could easily trim this up and make it all nicely produced, but I wanted to really sit here and give y'all something raw, you know, like something where I can just really just let it all out, share my journey with y'all and where we're going next. And if I get some I'm not expecting to get any followers from this, because I'm pretty confident that this might hit a niche of people who don't really follow Sims 4 content. But if it's bringing in new people who play The Sims but never heard of me, welcome in. Hopefully you will stick around for what's to come. It's a lot of fun over here. We have a lot of fun, and we get a little ratchet and a little unhinged. So with that being said, keep that plumb bob green, because you know it ain't that hard. Till next time, I'll see you when I see you. Dag.